We are live, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, everybody, how we doing? We already have some people in the room. Who is first in the room? I don't know who it was. I missed you guys. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, children, aunts, uncles, nieces, nephew, people around the world. Welcome to the weekly beer and video review show with Danny Salay. Me, your host, aka Travel Man Dan. Oh, today is going to be exciting. Today's going to be a lot of fun. I'm pumped up. I'm ready to go. We have some delicious beers. We had an amazing episode last week. We had, lots of things to talk about. And, I got some really cool videos to preview. So, if you're here in the room, shout it out right now again. Who do we got? Tenacious Freak is watching. Yes! And it is good to see you. It's good to hear from you. Always a pleasure. I can't tell you how much I look forward to this weekly beer and video review show now that I actually have some people, some friends, some people from around the world tuning in, watching, enjoying. I hope you have a beer. I hope you have somewhere comfortable to sit. Who do we got? We got Dad and... Oh! What is going on, Aunt Sue? I'm like, is that my Aunt Sue is here? Hi, Aunt Sue. We have another lady in the room. All right. Welcome. Hello, Dad. Thank you very much. If this is your first time joining us, like yourself, Aunt Sue, let me tell you a little bit about what we do here on the show. We go ahead and we review two beers. And today's beers are exotic. They're delicious. They're homebred here in the United States. In between all those drinking of beers, we go ahead and we talk about some topical things. We don't get too political, but we talk about what's going on in the news. Maybe something she's very well, thanks, Dad. We talk about some things that are going on, just whether it be in sports, things that are happening, and then we talk about the videos that came out last week on my channel, and we preview the videos that are coming up in the upcoming week. We've added something new. We started last week and it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of success. It was the old what would you rather, and we're going ahead and we're going to bring that segment back. I got some new what would you rathers. We got a little segment called This Day in History, and then we close it out with the quote of the week. Now, last week was an unprecedented episode. We went for an hour and a half, and holy crap, who do we got? I'm not bored. I have a very full social calendar. Well, Aunt Sue, I'm glad that you decided to spend that full social calendar this afternoon with me. We're probably going to do a 1 hour show because I do have to go somewhere. But wherever you're in, wherever you're watching this from, wherever you're tuning in and relaxing, whether you're live with us now or you're watching it on the replay, thank you so much. It's good to have you here. And without further ado, let's roll right into the first beer. Oh man, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, today's first beer is, well, it's a strong one. It's definitely going to make me start. Let me go ahead and put out an advisory right now. So, right outside the studio here, it is 106 degrees out right now. It's very hot, okay? Now, I can't run the air conditioner when we're doing the live shows because you're going to get like a purr, like a from the air conditioner going in the microphone, so we have to shut it off. So not only am I going to get a little red-faced, I'm going to get a little slurry talk, but I'm also going to be sweating profusely. So, if you do see me getting a little shiny over here, a little bit sweaty, understand what I'm working with here. But I told you what we're going to do today. Today's another American beer, a local beer, a California beer. And today we're going to be drinking from the Mad River Brewing Company, a beer, a double IPA called Slammin' Salmon. Check that guy out. Ooh, man. Slammin' Salmon. Okay? It's a double IPA, so it is going to be definitely stronger than your Pilsners and your lagers. And I'll tell you exactly how strong it is if I can only find it here on the bottle, because sometimes these things aren't the easiest to find, the alcohol percentage. And like I said, I don't get all snooty snotty with it. I just go ahead and grab it and drink it. And you know what? There really isn't an alcohol percentage on it. Hey, who do we have? Jens! Yes! What's up? How are you? Good to see you. Happy to have you here. I know a few weeks ago you had asked me about going to Thailand and trying out either was it Chang beer or Singha, but we got some Thai beers. I have them here at the studio. So next week, in honor of you, my friend, we are going to be drinking beers from Thailand. It should be a lot of fun. But if you're just hopping on right now, this is what we're drinking. It's from Humboldt County, which is, well, it's like Northern California. It's total weed country. You know, we are drinking the Mad River Brewing Slammin' Salmon Double IPA. It doesn't have an alcohol percentage. I'm going to go ahead and guess that it's pretty dang strong. Aston is here. Yes. Welcome. We have another regular. Thank you for joining us this week on the weekly beer and video review show. We have, well, if you guys have been watching for a while, we have our lucky bottle opener, the Budweiser bottle opener. Okay. And yeah, dude, it's going to be awesome, man. So I was at the store and I was thinking of you, and I definitely remember you wanted me to go ahead and review some Thai beer, so you got it, man. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and crack this sucker open. Take the first smell. All right, let's take a strong whiff. Ooh, baby. All right, so as you know, IPAs tend to be a bit of a hoppy smell. The fragrance is almost like walking through a forest pine tree, and right away, this double IPA doesn't have a super strong scent to it, but you can definitely smell how hoppy it is. Go ahead and grab our Travel Man Dan beer mug. What I want to double day. Oh, what is it? What do it mean? Okay, what does it mean when it's a double IPA? Sarah, yes, Tenacious Freak. We're gonna get into your beer in a minute. Okay, so to be honest with you, a double IPA just means it's more hoppier. There's probably some other beer lingo that I don't know about, like with IBUs and, you know, percentages and things like that. But I guess it's probably more of a hoppy flavor. Well, I'm not 100% sure. Hey, if you're watching this video on the playback and you know why it's called double IPA, please let me know. We like to keep this thing as blue collar as possible. So as I continue doing the show, as I continue to grow and get better, I'm finding out more about beer than I knew. So, you know, catch me in about 2 years, I'm probably going to be a total jerk about it, like one of those wine people. Gosh, I hope not. Anyway, let's get back into this. This is the Mad River Brewing Company from Humboldt County, and this is their Slammin' Salmon Double IPA. All right, right off the pour. Ooh, it's looking dark, okay? Right away, it's almost a reddish kind of darkness. Give you guys an up-close look at that. It's definitely looking good. First pour, looking thick, okay? Hey, Baro! Welcome to the show, my man from India. All right, Barrow, I would give you a fist pump or whatever, get all excited, but I got a beer in a bottle, and right away, look at the thickness on this. Okay, I'm making funny faces, and you guys can't even see me. All right, I was going ahead and doing all kinds of faces, but if we look at how thick and dark this beer is, and we take a look at it through the light, okay, we can't even see through it. It's got a good consistency. It's kind of like well, a dark honey, if you will, a copper kind of feel to it, almost like a dark, unpolished copper. But let's go ahead and get to the best part of it, the taste, and I'll let you know what it tastes like. Ooh, man, it's good. It's really, you look like Tom Selleck. Hey, Uncle John. You know, I've heard it before. I'm waiting for them to call me to do Mr. Baseball too. Double or triple hops and more malts. Okay, there you go. See, I knew it had something to do with the hops, but thanks, Pops. My dad says the reason they call it double IPA because it's double and sometimes triple the hops and more malts, and you can definitely see it in this beer, and you can see it because of the color is more dark, and that's exactly what the first sip tastes like. It's got that really thick kind of malty taste, but then the feeling and the smell and the fragrance of well, a double IPA should taste like. It's really hoppy. It's got a nice like piney kind of smell to it. Really enjoy it. I don't know what it is. You know, it's something subconsciously going on, but that first sip, I was thinking of salmon, and as I was drinking it, I was thinking, boy, this better not taste like fish. Yeah, Dad ought to know, man. He probably Googled that, man. But yeah, so definitely a nice first sip. I'm really looking forward to it. Guys, we have all we have a whole generation of Salays in the house today. We have Mark Salay, John Salay, and Susan Salay. Thank you so much. My grandfather, my grandmother's children, my dad, my uncle, and my aunt. Yes, thank you so much for joining me. Appreciate it. I know all of you guys like beer, especially Pops. Uncle John, I heard you like a little bit of a Bloody Mary lately. And Aunt Sue, I think you're more of a wine lady. But this is a beer show. We are drinking this. And let's get into the first topic of today. And well, we don't really get into it and talk too political about it. But hey, what's going on with the COVID and where you are? You know, it's still going on here in California. It's getting pretty serious again. Gavin Newsom, who is our governor, he is going ahead and he's shutting down restaurants for in-seating dining, and there's been some talk that we might go back into a complete lockdown here in the state of California. I'm not sure what that means and how that's going to go ahead and be looked at and adjusted, but I hope wherever you are, I hope things are getting better. I hope that, well, people are being safe. I hope that they're taking the necessary precautions so that we can get back to ordinary life. I know it seems daunting. I know it seems tough. I know it seems very frustrating. People are really frustrated these days, but you know, what are we going to do? You know, the best thing that you could do is listen to the health professionals, take the precautions that you're supposed to take, and, you know, buckle down and bear through it, because to be honest with you, we could be going at this for another 6 months, and it could get a lot harder. Now, with that being said, when we look back in time and we look, Denmark is open, we even removing restrictions at the malls. It's getting a little better here in the UK, okay? Yeah, so Denmark seems to be, you know, under control. UK is getting a little bit better, you said, Aston. That's good. I'm glad to see that you guys are getting back to your normal life. We thought it was getting better here, or I don't know if they get pressured from the economy. Like, I don't know what it is economically, financially, politically, what drives this thing to go ahead and put these bans on. Who do you believe right now? There's so much misinformation and information out there that you're getting pulled in every direction. Your mind feels like it's going to explode every night, and God forbid you actually watch the news. Oh man, I don't know how it is in Denmark, and I don't know how it is in UK, but there's basically like a war here in the media about ratings, okay, and behind the scenes ratings, and what gets ratings is panic. And if you can get more people to glue their eyes on a panic type situation, you're probably going to get better ratings. So there's been a really weird thing going on the last couple of years here, especially when I moved back from China, but hopefully, all in all, it'll get back to normal. I did hear about another stimulus coming for Americans. Travel. Steve's here. Yes, this is the Just the Kid from Kenmore shirt. We don't watch TV here. That's awesome, Tenacious Freak. Yeah, to be honest with you, I'm getting blown up right now. Pop says I'm frozen up. Guys, hey, look, am I freezing up over there? Me and my wife are artists. Yeah, that's awesome. I know you are, and that's so cool. I ditched cable TV and like mainstream TV, I don't know, 14 years ago. Now here, okay, cool. Yeah, my dad's saying it's freezing. Okay, thanks guys. But yeah, this is the Just the Kid from Kenmore. That is my hometown, Kenmore, New York. It's a suburb in the north side of Buffalo. Not frozen here. Thanks, Johns. Aqua Nuts is in the house. Yes, mine is good. Thank you so much. Dad, looks like you're frozen. I don't know. Maybe you're probably outside in the garage or something. Anyway, let's thank you so much. Let's go into the next thing. Like I said, for you Americans that are wondering, I've heard some talk about another stimulus check in here. Thank you. Another stimulus check coming out. Hey, are you guys getting stimulus checks over in Denmark or in England or in India? What's the government doing for you guys over there? Are you guys getting any help from your government in terms of financial, because everything's shut down? Unfortunately, I heard that, in Amsterdam, the sex trade, or not, that's awful actually. The sex shops and things like that. I don't know what you call it. The sex workers have been unemployed for quite a while, and it was on the news, and that's the kind of things that are being portrayed. I'm not really sure what else is going on in Europe, but I hope that you guys are okay financially, economically, and all is well. Yeah, we'll see what happens. I know that sports are coming back. That's pretty exciting. How about, are you guys looking forward to the football season coming up? Of course, baseball and basketball will start again very soon, within the next 2 weeks here in the United States, and that is American football. I see that in Spain today. I was watching a little Spanish football. Yes. Who do we got here? John Galvin is a baseball fan. Yes. Good to see you here, John. You are new to the show, I believe. It's nice to have you. Where are you calling in from? We get enough to get by here. That's good, Aston. I'm glad to see that. I definitely, I know that it's probably not the cheapest place, where the store was forced to close to get a boost from the yeah, that sucks. You know, that's the thing. It's like certain governments closed your store. Keosha, Wisconsin. Nice, John. We got a Wisconsin. I don't know, you guys called cheeseheads or nicknames or whatever, but hey, John, thank you so much for hopping on. I appreciate it. You know Wisconsin's got some good beers. But this is what we're drinking today, guys. If you guys are just joining us, we're drinking a double IPA. Take a look at this mug. It is from the Mad River Brewing Company from Humboldt County. Humboldt County is a Northern California place. Really beautiful trees. Home alone. Okay, Uncle John, well, this here sip is for you. This is a double IPA. Cheeseheads. Nice. Greg is in the house. All right. There's another Wisconsin guy. Oh, man. Really sweet taste. It's weird. Sorry about that crazy little tongue lash right here. I gotta lick my mustache every once in a while. But wow, what a really sweet tasting, malty, delicious double IPA. I really enjoy this one. This one is really good. Some of these double IPAs, to be honest with you, you can never tell. They might have been on the shelf for like 6 months. You might not really like it because it's too hoppy, but this one's just good. It's got a great fragrance to it. It's got a smooth, kind of sweet, malty flavor to it. Really delicious. And you know, up in Humboldt County, they love their marijuana, so they probably like to go ahead and wash it down with a good beer. So this Mad River Brewing Slammin' Salmon Double IPA is probably just a perfect drink. So when you got that cotton mouth, and you just go ahead and you whack down a good cold double IPA. Anyway, we talked a little bit about the COVID, what's going on. National parks. My friend's going on a 12-day road trip all over California. Sequoia, Yosemite, John Muir. Totally jealous. He's gonna be doing it in a badass like RV thing. Hey, what's some really cool national parks? Uncle John has graduated to Bourbon. What is some really cool national parks in your country, in your state? I'd love to hear from you. Pop them up there right now. I live in California. I live in Southern California, Los Angeles to be specific. So you got to kind of drive a little bit, but Joshua Tree is a really cool place. Mammoth Lake, and so experimenting with vodka. Lady. Very nice. Listen, I gotta tell you, my family's not all alcoholics, but yeah. So I've been thinking a lot about national parks lately, and really kind of want to get up to my favorite place in the world. Man, it kind of goes like this. It's a battle, right? It's a battle. You know, you always get these places where you absolutely love, but it's probably like Denmark or Yosemite, and those are my two favorite places. I love Copenhagen. I absolutely love the Danish people, but I really absolutely double fish IPA. Dogfish. Oh, dogfish is really good, Uncle John. I've had that one. But yeah, I love Yosemite National Park. It's a really cool place. You can go swimming with the manatees. Yes, Greg Z, you are in Tampa, I believe. If you guys have never gone to Florida, I think down in Tampa, you can go down, or what was it, lake something, and you can go ahead and you can swim with the sea cows. Okay, if you don't know what a sea cow is, Google it, all that kind of good stuff. They're called manatees, and you literally can swim with them as they come up to you. They're these big old plump like cow things. Manas National Park in India, famous for one hot ride. Nice, Barrow. Probably the best known kind of national park we have is Stonehenge. Yeah. Are you right in London, Aston? I've always wanted to see Stonehenge. And Barrow, that looks pretty cool. The one-horned rhino park there in India. India is a huge place too, so like its diversity is really, really crazy, because you have northern India, then you have central India, and you have southern India. And although I've never been there, I hear lots of good things, and I'm looking forward to it. Just as forward to heading out to Stonehenge. I want to go ahead and do Stonehenge, where I can go to England and then basically go over to Edinburgh for the Fringe Festival and hang out with all the theater crazies. But all right, so moving right along. I'm up in the northwest London, south. Okay, very cool. Do you know? Oh, what the hell, my friend? He lives in there. It's like the Shire, the Cotswolds. Jimmy lives in the Cotswolds. Yeah, he says it's a beautiful place. It's like the Shire. It's all green, and he told me it's a really cool place. Never been to England. Looking forward to it. Want to try mushy peas. Want a fried fish in the brown newspaper. Definitely looking forward to hitting up London, Edinburgh, and Dublin. So, well, we'll see what happens when this COVID. Maybe I'll go on a big old grand finale of the UK. But anyway, let's move on to the next thing. And we were talking about videos, right? We're talking about videos, and what video came out last week. I don't know if you guys checked it out. I don't know if you guys are really into it, but if you're here, let me tell you about it, okay? Because of COVID, because of the virus, when it first broke out, I was like, oh man, what am I going to do? The Cotswolds are in, the Hobbits are from. Yes, that's my buddy tells me. He loves it. But I was unable to go ahead and travel like I was going to. I was going to do a lot of the, basically the West and the Southwest, from Portland, Oregon, all the way down to Arizona and Utah. Sorry, I got a little itchy nose. But I wasn't able to do it. I'm still not able to do it, and I don't want to do it unless it's completely safe to do it, so that I can go ahead and give you the full experience. So I made a pivot. I had to go ahead and launch something else to go ahead and continue my creativity, to get out there and continue a YouTube channel, and to continue making videos. So what did I do? I make a pivot, and I created Reading Man Dan. Now, if you guys don't know me, or if you've never heard this story, I used to be a kindergarten teacher overseas in China. Excuse me. And then I came back here to California, and I still teach kids from time to time. Now I got a real job, so I don't, not really into the classroom as much. But I was a substitute teacher for children ages kindergarten to high school. Absolutely loved it. My favorite thing to do was story time. So Reading Man Dan is basically me reading stories. And last week's video was a lot of fun because it was for my first sponsorship with Early Book Learner, and it is called There's a Wocket in My Pocket. It's one of Dr. Seuss's classics. What's that white stuff on your nose? No, Uncle John, I swear. I know one would think that I'm a Coke and a party guy, but I'm absolutely not. It just something is making my nose really itchy in the nostril. But this is the video. If you haven't seen it, it's a lot of fun. If you want to see this kind of energy and this kind of creativity going on, it's me going ahead and reading great lines out of Wocket. There's a Wocket in my pocket. Let me go ahead and give you a quick reading of it. That's the kind of house I live in. There's a nink in the sink and a zamp in the lamp, and they're rather nice, I think. Okay, so it's a lot of that. It's a lot of fun. It's especially cool for me because I go ahead and I continue to create content, whether it be for beer drinkers or people that just want to hang out and talk about all kinds of fun things, or whether it be for children where parents are able to go ahead and give it to their kids and share it. You know, it's a lot of fun for me. And even when I go back to go ahead and shoot travel stuff, I'm going to continue Reading Man Dan, because Reading Man Dan is a lot easier for me to control. When I go out and travel, I need money, I need travel expenses, I need to go ahead and find locations, and sometimes it can be a little tough. Well, with Reading Man Dan, it's all done here in the studio. If I turn this thing around, I go ahead and I have a children's classroom on the other side of the studio, and we go ahead and we film like 5 to 6 episodes per day. So then I just go ahead and cut them up. So if you haven't seen it, there's a Wocket in my pocket. It's a fun, exciting video. If you have any nieces, nephews, young ones, cousins, little guys, please go ahead, share that video. I'd love to know what they think of me. It was back in the old beard days. You remember those days? But now I'm stashing it, and just a lot of fun. And if you went ahead and saw that, let me know what you thought. All right, guys, moving right along. I need another big sip. If you guys are new and you're just hopping on, this is what we're drinking today. It's a lot of fun. I see we have a lot of people today joining in. Thank you. We have the Mad River Brewing Slammin' Salmon Double IPA. Okay, so far so good. Really enjoying it. I'm a big fan of IPAs. Was talking to my father a little bit earlier about this. Thing about IPAs are, it's a nice starter, okay? It gives you a little bit of eloquentness, if that's a word. But you go ahead and you start off with a couple of good IPAs, and maybe you drink 3 or 4 of them. You're feeling it. You definitely got a buzz. Then you go into the lighter Pilsners. Well, this one, it's really quite surprising because some of these extra IPAs are really tough to drink. Really sweet. Ned Flanders. Aqua Nuts, I freaking love you. Yes, big hug. All right, you know that's what I always think. It's I'm getting a lot of call outs. You know, the Burt Reynolds, of course, the Tom Sellecks. But to me, when I look at myself, okay, I see Ned Flanders. And nobody else has picked up on that. So that's really funny that you did, Aqua Nuts. Thank you so much for bringing that up. That's really funny. HTLA, yes! We got one of my students in the house. Coding Midget, what's up? What is going on? Ladies and gentlemen, one of my students are here on the show. So thank you so much to HTLA kids. It stands for High Tech Los Angeles. It was this great charter school right down the road from my house. With the kids were so awesome. They gave me so much support, and they were just always really, really cool with me. Nice kids, super smart, intelligent. Yeah, you subbed for my math class many times. Dude, thank you so much for spending this this time with me here live. Tell all your friends at HTLA I said hello. You know, I loved all your staff over there at school. Hopefully, I'm not sure what's going on, if you guys are going to be allowed back to school, but I do miss you. I've moved on from the the substitute teaching, but it's good to have you guys here. We'll always be able to connect here at the show. Thanks for hanging. I know you're not of age to drink, but we're going to go ahead and we're going to talk about some other cool stuff. And well, all this stuff is going on, all this internet stuff, all this funny memes and stuff like that. Yes, people are uncontrollable right now. They're very frustrated, they're very angry, there's lots of crazy stuff going on. But you know what's really funny? Where did this term, a Karen, they're calling everyone, like all these crazy ladies, midway through, almost dead, make sure to time management. Thank you, Tenacious Freak. I appreciate it, dude. Thank you so much. I know, it's so funny, man. You must be my brain, because I'm looking at it, I'm going, dude, I got half an hour. I got to make this show an hour, so we're going to speed things up. But I was talking about Karens, right? I hear this term, I see it all over, you know, Costco Karen and Karen this, and it's basically people that freak out. What is a Karen? And is there a name for the guy equivalent of what a Karen is? I don't know. If you know, put it down in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. I think it's kind of silly, kind of weird, but all in all, that's where we're at right now. But anyway, hey, we're going to keep the show rolling. Now I'm going to go into the next segment of the show where we talk about tomorrow's video that's coming out, and that's the Micro Mondays. They're really short. This one's going to be really short. It's going to be about 3 to 4 minutes. Really quick, easy, quick hitters, just to go ahead. And what it is, it's a shorter version of a video that I filmed. Hey, Danny, how's it going on the West Coast, Bubba? What up, Buffalo? Doing good. We got another Buffalonian doing really good. Although it is 106 degrees out here, we are hot as hell. We're drinking good beer, and good to have you here, Bubba. So, hey, tomorrow's one is really fun. It's really kind of interesting if you're into this kind of thing. But I go ahead and I'm going to do Micro Monday at the Hollywood Forever Cemetery. And if you don't know what that is, it's a very famous cemetery right in downtown Hollywood that basically, it's a regular cemetery where regular people can be buried there. And I say regular, meaning they were not celebrities. Yikes, we only hit 100 here today. Yeah, man, it's hot here. That's hot, 100 wherever you're at. But the Hollywood Forever Cemetery is cool because this is where a lot of famous people were laid to rest. You're gonna see some statues, and well, it's just a weird kind of video if you're into that kind of thing. But a way to pay respects was for me to go there and talk about it, talk about the history of the people that were laid to rest there. And one really cool thing that they have there, but they don't have there this year because of obviously the COVID and stuff, is once a month, every Saturday night during the summer, so from like May to October, they have old movies in the graveyard. It's this huge wall, like massive, and I'm telling you, like 2,000 people show up this thing. They bring lawn chairs and picnic baskets. It's called Hollywood Forever. I didn't film it, but you'll see the area in the video where I filmed it, where that happens. And you can just go there and you can watch one of the most famous, iconic movies, and then the people are laid to rest after they passed away in that cemetery. So that's kind of cool. It started with some lady yelling, doing something about another person in her arms. That's how it started. Yes, okay. Thank you, Greg. I appreciate that. I was wondering where that all came from, but I'd heard it before COVID. I heard it last year, but it was not as prevalent as it was recently. But yeah, so this Micro Monday, if you haven't checked it out, it's going to be really cool. It is a fun episode. It's quick, it's short. If you want to watch the full one, it's always in the description of the Micro Mondays. So if you like that 3 to 4 minute video, you say, boy, I want to see the whole thing, just go down to the description, right past the merchandise link, and then you'll see the link for the full video. You can watch the full thing. And now let's get back into that Slammin' Salmon Double IPA. Oh man, really working my way through. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and take this all down in one sip, and then I'm going to go ahead and give it a score because we are doing a little bit of time management. Tenacious Freak, do you have that beer? Tell me about that double. You are drinking some crazy IPA. Tell me about it. I want to go ahead and bring it up on the show. So here it is. Let's go ahead and take a whack down. Wow. Really, really pleasantly surprised. I mean, just the sweetness, the maltiness, the overall flavor of this beer. Okay, I know it's hot out and I'm thirsty, but really this has a great flavor to it. It's almost like it's got some kind of interesting sweet chestnut taste to it, but really delicious. I really was not expecting this double IPA to be so good because these things can be a little treacherous. For one, like I said, they're really strong. Two, you don't know how long they've been sitting on the shelf. So really not a bad beer. Mad River Brewing. I'm going to go ahead and try to make a video up there. It is of Humboldt County. Okay, Obadesi Hopfen IPA. I'm going to go ahead and give this a score, and then we're going to go back to Tenacious Freak is drinking the Obadesi Hopfen IPA. Probably butchered it, said it completely wrong. But hey, if you get a chance to check this out, if it's in your micro brew section or if it's in your craft beer section at wherever you buy beer, check it out. It's absolutely delicious. I love it. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to give it a really good score. I'm going to give it an 8.5. That's right, an 8.5. And the reason I gave it an 8.5 is on sheer taste, okay? And that's why we drink beers. That's why we enjoy it. Inhauser Brauer. Okay, these is some crazy language. Michael, Tenacious Freak, I do not understand that, but it is delicious. And Tenacious Freak is talking about Wunderstrudel. What's the highest score given so far? Okay, I will tell you, Wunderstrudel. The highest score, we went over this, I can recall this last week, whatever, was German beer. Okay, was, it's a bit biased. It's a homer call. It's my hometown Labatt Blue. Okay, now it's not my hometown. I'm not from Canada, but right on the border of it is my hometown of Kenmore, Buffalo, New York. And I gave it a 10. Nice, Tenacious. I gave it a 10 because of, I think, more familiarity. It just has that, you know, nostalgic taste that you grow up. I'm sure there's a beer that you grew up drinking, Wonder, and it's just, yeah, like Bubba said right there, it's just perfect. Okay, it's just every time I taste it, it brings back memories. It's thirst quenching. It's not super strong. It's like a 4.9 to 5.3. John Galvin, he should rate beers like Dave Potney rates pizzas. How does he do that? How does he rate pizzas? But yeah, I'm definitely a huge fan of Labatt's Blue. So that isn't the highest score ever given. It was the only perfect 10. We had the Budweiser Nitro, I believe, was a 9.5, and we had Molson Canadian, which is another beer of Buffalo that ranked in there at about a 9.5, I believe, and it was one of the earlier shows. But yeah, my only perfect 10 score was given to Labatt's, and like I said, it's a bit biased. It's a bit of is it the best beer? To most people, probably not. To me, probably, absolutely. If it's the one beer, if I could have, it brings back a lot of memories. It's weird, really weird. I went back to Buffalo, Jenny Cream, and that's your number one. Hey, why not? Let's talk about what's your favorite beer. Put it up right now. I want to hear from you guys. Throw up your favorite beer in the world. Who would get a 10 score from you? Would it be Jenny Cream, like my Uncle John? Would it be Labatt's Blue, like my favorite? What is your favorite beer, and you know, what beer would you give a 10 to? I'd love to hear from you. Let's go ahead and let that marinate as I go ahead and wash the glass out. Nope, sweet, but feels sweet until it tastes bitter. Felt warm going down. Okay, so Tenacious Freak is talking to me about this crazy IPA from Germany, the one that popped up earlier. He sent me a picture of it. I grew up with Jenny Cream. My dad always had a keg in the garage. Oh, Jenny Cream on the keg. But it's this it's ranked, what is it, number 3 in the world IPA. It comes in a great, like, I mean, the thing is like brilliant. It's wrapped in like this awesome brown paper. Jenny Screamers. It's wrapped in this awesome brown paper, and it's got this really great label to it, and it's written in German and just really cool. And like you said, it's really hard to get. It's a bit sweet and a little bit bitter. And thank you so much, Tenacious Freak, for sending that over to me. I want to see pictures, guys. So if you guys have any suggestions, go ahead once this video is over and hop on over to my Instagram and just DM me pictures or things that I can remember to try to get this beer, and I definitely will. What do we got? Barstool Sports, look when you get a chance. I'll check it out. I know you're not a stout guy, but I like Guinness. Okay, number 4 beer and won the Beer Awards. You're right. Okay, and Uncle John's like, damn right, Uncle Screamers. Jenny Cream was my favorite battle. I'll check out how he rates pizzas. That's pretty cool that it ranked number 4. Depends on the weather. I love Hoegaarden. Ooh, a little Dutch. That's a Dutch Heffenweiss, isn't it? Anyway, like I said, I would love to hear Tenacious Freak. Oh, 2016, 2017, and so 3 years in a row, it was one of the top 5 beers of the world. So definitely, thank you so much for sending that to me. Like I said, if you have any suggestions, go ahead, shoot me a DM. I'd love to hear from you. But now let's go into the second beer of the day. And the second beer of the day is also from Northern California. It's also another really cool, fun label. So let me pull it out of the ice here. I keep this one on ice because as we're talking, at 37 minutes later, I don't want it to get too warm. But here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you to the second beer of today's show. It's from Lost Coast Brewery that is in Eureka, California, and it is called the Sharkinator. Da-na-na. Oh, nice. I gotta agree with Jen's right there. Beer has a huge thing to do with the weather. When it's cold and it's misty and it's dark, you want like that thick kind of creamy stout like a Guinness. But when it's sunny and you're out on the beach and you're just having a good time, you could whack down about 14 Tecates, you know? So definitely wheat beers, Greg, I'm not a huge fan of. But we're gonna go ahead and go dabble in them. But today's beer is the Sharkinator. Check that friggin' label out. We had salmon, now we have shark. And this is a white IPA. So I'm not even sure what the heck that means. Because as Greg alluded to, he was talking about Heffenweissen. I had it better all the parts on person. Yeah, person to person, palate, weather, maybe something that you ate. But this is a white IPA. Is it an IPA or is it more of a Belgium kind of Heffenweissen style? I don't know. I have no idea. I gotta be honest with you. The white L on the label, it really didn't come to me. I really wasn't drawn into that. Even though I don't know what the hell it is, I wasn't drawn into it like I was the Sharkinator. Look out, everybody. Here it comes. Da-na-na-na-na-na. Sharkinator. All right. I don't know if I told you guys this, but I went out for, I'm opening it, Uncle John. I went out for Sharknado 4. Yeah, I didn't get the part. I wish I would have, but hey, we tried, right? Somebody will book me sometime. All right, here we go. We're gonna go ahead and crack this sucker open. Going to be milky white. We're gonna see. Tenacious Freak. Wouldn't that be weird? All right. Oh. Whoa. Whoa. That was, man. Can you imagine if I just blew air like that all over everyone in the bar during COVID? Holy crap. I wish you guys could smell this. Wonderstrudel. Big hugs. Guys, I can't believe it. We got some ladies in the room today. We got some ladies in the bar. Thank you so much. This thing is so stinky and pungent. All right, let's go ahead and find out. Let's go ahead and find out what this looks like. Oh, yeah. You were right, Tenacious Freak. It's not quite milky. It's got a great lemon look to it, okay? Almost like your average Pilsner. Look at those. Look at the tornado going on in there, okay? Thinking of Tornado, Sharknado, Sharkinator by Lost Coast here in Eureka, California. It is very strong. I don't know, Barrow. The first one was very strong. Barrow is on the show every week, and I believe Barrow doesn't drink. So maybe, Barrow, one day I'll come to India, and we can get you on right here on the Weekly Beer and Video Review Show. Eventually, as soon as the stuff starts breaking, I'm going to get back out there. I'm going to start doing the show and bringing people onto the show. This first kind of 25 episodes, I'm grateful for you guys joining me. I got an audience and stuff like that. But eventually, we're going to start bringing people on the show, and it's going to be freaking awesome. We're going to be doing it on the road, and it's going to be, yes, it is very light, Aqua Nuts. Check it out. But as I believe your boyfriend has alluded to, it is quite milky, right? Okay, what am I doing with my eyes right now? Okay, would you probably do Tiger Beer India? I would do Tiger and Kingfisher. Okay, but check it out. This is kind of the consistency of a Heffenweizen. Okay, it's milky. All right, it's very light looking, but then it has like patches of darkness. Okay, here at the top you can see it's a ring of more darkness. There's only one way to really tell you more about this beer, and that's to go ahead and drink it. All right, is it bubbles or milky? It's kind of, when I first poured it, it had a lot of bubbles to it. It's not too milky. Let me go ahead. Yeah, it's impressive that they made a lighter beer than Torborg, that it was just being water. Oh, Christopher, who is your dad? Is Marani here? Wow. What the hell did I just drink? Hold on a minute. we got a connection here. We got a weird connection going on between Christopher Marani and my aunt and my dad, who seem to know his dad. What is going on? What is going on in this show? Okay, we are all just kids from Kenmore. Wow, this beer is so strange tasting. Yeah, Chris, my dad knows your dad. I think you guys grew up and hung out together. Welcome, Dad, Chris, Dad, and Sue. Everyone meet, small world. Chris is the artist. If you guys don't know, Chris is the artist for the Travel Man Dan coloring book. And I believe I showed it to you on this show before. Do you guys want to see a picture of the Travel Man Dan coloring book? Let me know. If I get 5 thumbs up, I'll go ahead and it's right over there. I'm going ahead and getting it looked at right now by publishers. Let me know if you want to see a preview. Chris Marani, the guy that just keeps popping up, he was the artist who illustrated the coloring book. And I've got a coloring book coming out. Because of COVID, I'm kind of slowing it down myself because I want school to be in session. But what it's going to be, there we go. We got 1, we got 2, we got 3, we got 2 more. Let's go. Come on. Who wants to see the coloring book? So anyway, so Chris was the artist on it. I got with him about 1.5 years ago. I talked to him about going ahead and telling him my idea. He's a brilliant drawer. Is that what you say? Draw? You can draw really good. And I definitely understood. I'll take that as a yes. So we went ahead and we created a coloring book. I had this idea that what I want to do is go ahead and make a coloring book, put it out there for people to buy. Okay, I'm bringing it out. I'm going to bring it out right now. Now, when I say bring it out, I mean it's in its rough stages, elements. I'll give you 2 random pulls of the coloring book, but let me tell you a little bit about what it is. And so what happened is I wanted to go ahead and create a coloring book that I go ahead and sell. Say it costs $20, whatever. I know it's expensive, right, for a freaking coloring book, but the idea is to take half the proceeds and be able to donate them to children around the world so that I can supply them with educational products, needs. I only have 2 thumbs, Craig. Thank you. Just whatever people around the world would need, and I'm talking about the rural, most poorest places around the world. So, you know, like some pretty crazy nuts places. The other $10, we'll say 50-50 split, is going to go ahead and provide me and my team to go and fly there so that I can personally present the check. Okay, Book, I thought you meant Jack Daniels. No, not today. I got to go somewhere right after this. So what basically you'll be able to do is, let's say you go ahead and you purchase this coloring book. Half the proceeds will donate maybe a school of children in need of pencils, paper, books, and things like that, and maybe Myanmar, Burma, or India, or somewhere crazy that we don't know yet. Then I'll fly over there with the other half of the percentage, hopefully be able to bring a cameraman. And because I was a teacher of kids in international world, then I will go ahead. Thank you, Baba. I got a plan. I have an idea. I'm going to do it. And I'm going to show you what it looks like, the start of it, well, the middle of it. But then I'll go ahead and actually film it. And then I'll make it here on YouTube. And you'll be able to watch your episode. You'll be able to watch where your money is donated. You'll be able to watch, like, hey, I bought that coloring book, and they're Travel Man Dan, and he's in the mountains of Peru, and he's at some weird school on the mountainside, and he's giving the principal a check for shit. Maybe it's only $1,000, but $1,000 for some children in the mountainside of Peru, that might provide the whole school with a whole bunch of history books or I don't know, pens and papers and pencils. No Jack today, Dad. I gotta go somewhere after this. So let me give you guys a sneak preview. I've shown you some images before, I'm not sure, but Chris Morani was the artist. And I'm going to go ahead and give you guys 2 pictures. So if you saw 2 other pictures, maybe you're starting to see this book in its entirety. And here is the first one I'd like to show off, because I absolutely love this country. I miss it. It's getting a lot of bad heat these days because of the coronavirus and because of our president putting them on blast and the uneducated people and, you know, all that kind of stuff. But the Chinese people, to me, were brilliant. They were super nice and generous throughout my years there. And so I'm going to go ahead and show you. This is the Travel Man Dan China page. Okay, you can see him flying on a dragon over the Great Wall. Okay, got that face and he's all super happy. Wouldn't you like to color that sucker? You can color the Chinese flag. That's pretty cool. So you're going to see this in the book. This is one of the drawings that Chris drew. How cool is that? That is Travel Man Dan and flying over China. Okay. Then we also have, okay, I'm going to give you one other one. And, well, thank you, Chris. I really appreciate it. I'm glad we got this sucker done ever since I met you at, was it the Royal or the Olympic? And when I hashed this out and told you my idea, and here I am holding it. Okay, so then, you know, if you don't know me, let me tell you, I love Christmas. I absolutely love going home to see my family, and it's always really fun for me. And the Royal, yes, here is, it's not color by numbers, Uncle John. Here is the Christmas page, okay? And, you know, you see me sitting there eating cookies, having a good time. You got Mr. and Mrs. Claus right there. We got his little psychotic acid-eating elf and whatever. But look at the artistry on that. And great job, Chris Barani. A lot of fun. That will be out there sometime. I'm thinking hopefully we'll get it together by September, October. I'm kind of using, thank you, Wunderstrudel. I'm kind of using the time to be selective because I want to make sure school, best kind of I want to be sure that school is back in session. I want to be able to, thank you, Aquanuts. I want to make sure that I can go ahead and visit the school and visit the schools that I used to teach at so that I can show them the coloring book, and then I can go ahead and promote it and, you know, basically do all that acid eat now. Yeah, I don't know why. It's just face like, but I don't know. We gotta have some fun, right? You know, and enjoying it. Here comes the sweat. Who's pinging me now? Okay, you guys, Steve's getting frozen. Surely sell with the kids, I know. I always wonder about that. Like, how is Reading Man Dan gonna work if these kids kind of venture over to the weekly beer and video show and see me and my realness? Nah, well, I mean, it's not that I'm not real when I'm reading the books. I'm just not as wacky, and I haven't had any drinks. Anyway, speaking of drinks, we are on to the second beer. We are drinking this, we are drinking the Lost Coast Brewery's Sharkinator, and I gotta say something. This White Owl, I didn't know what it was. I had no idea what it would taste like. Would it be a white IPA, or would it, would it be an IPA, or would it be more of a Hefeweizen? This is the strangest tasting beer I think I've ever did on the show. I can't explain it. I talked a lot in the last 10 minutes. Let's go ahead. We're going to go over. Fuck it. I thought we were going to get done in an hour. Oh, yeah, I figured out a way to drive. But thank you, Chris. We're going to be doing some more work together. All right, let's go ahead and try it. Oh, my gosh. I don't know if I like it or if I hate it. It's so clean. It's so citrusy and crisp. It's like drinking water with a little bit of booze in it, you know? It tastes lemony. Okay, it's got a lot of complexity going on here, even though it is light. There's a lot of different flavors swirling around this 16-ounce bug. Okay, it's really not bad. The first sip, I really wasn't sure what I thought of it. I'm kind of tasting more of a Hefeweizen if I'm thinking about it more, drinking it, looking at it, I guess more. But then it's got a bit of an ale taste to it because you do taste some hops. So not bad. Definitely looking forward to finishing that and giving it a score. Gonna need a full 12-ounce bottle of it. Now I want to talk about next week's video. And we're gonna do this quick. I'm gonna rev it up a little bit. Thank you, Michael. Michael Herrera, thank you so much for the creative content. I appreciate the comment. So we're gonna go right into it, and I'm gonna talk about next week. It will be a Food Friday video, and I'm still in the process of planning it. I have an idea. We're probably not gonna do a secret menu item because we're gonna do a place called Farmer Boys. And Farmer Boys is local here to California. They might be down in Arizona. They're more of a high-end drive-through, but their food is delicious. They got tons of menu items. I think I've located a spot. I'm gonna block some time out and stay tuned for that. If I can't get to Farmer Boys, next week's Food Friday video will be at Tommy's Burgers, a local California chili hot dog hamburger joint, and it's freaking messy. It's delicious. It's like, if you're from California, all over it, and it's gonna be nuts. And don't worry. Did you try mead when you're in Yes, I did. I absolutely did. Oh, I don't know if it constitutes as Scandinavia. I tried mead, Wunderstrudel. I tried mead, and yeah, I know, in Lithuania, and I made a video on it. Okay, I got completely hammered. It was a tiny little bar. It was €2 for a glass of mead, either honey mead beer or honey mead wine, and I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I hope one day that I'm able to come over to Denmark again and just spend more time there. I want to be able to go ahead one day, and I would love to live in Denmark and make that the base of Travel Man Dan. We do our mead kind of differently than other places in the world, but I would love to try it. I did not try it in Denmark. Got to go, but everyone stay safe out there. Thank you, Michael. Thank you for hopping in. I really appreciate you. You stay safe. Do everything you got to do to take care of you and your family. Thanks for stopping by the Travel Man Dan show, or the weekly beer and video show. We're having an awesome time. Look for that Food Friday video. I have tried mead. I'm going through it quickly, revving on the gas, and now let's hop into this day in history. All right, this day in history is a lot of fun. It's well, it's not It's not so technical where I gotta go ahead and make this disclaimer each time. I'm not a history professor. I'm not even a history buff. I like things on history, and I want to know what happened on this day. I like to dream. I like to imagine a lot. I mean, I really, really like imagination a lot. So what I do is I go ahead and I take this day and I try to think back over time. What has happened on this day? What special things have happened? But wait, I totally forgot. Wonder, I asked Dan about that before. Didn't know the English word for it, so thanks. Yes, Tenacious Freak and Wonder Strudel are Danish superpowers here on the show. Thank you so much. Guys, whoa, I look like our president. We're freaky. We didn't do the news segment. What would you rather? Oh, man. Okay, if we got to go over 15 minutes, that's okay. I put that in there. Let's go ahead and take another sip of this Sharknator. We're going to do what would you rather. Then we're going to hop into this day in history. Whoa. I don't know how to explain this white IPA. Right before, if you look at my Instagram, I posted on my stories on my Facebook. I asked people, did you try it? Did you try it? My really good friend who is, I used to work with at a museum, said she loved this beer. This was her favorite beer. She loved it. I was like, I can't wait. Such an interesting taste, and I've never tried it before. I don't know how to explain it. It's got a bit of a floral aroma to it, but it's still enough hops where it tastes like an IPA. It's super crisp and clean and refreshing and really nice. I think I'm going to have to get a six-pack and try them all out. But hey, now let's get into the news segment. If you participated last week, thank you so much. I know some of you that are here now did, and I loved your answers. I will respond back to them. But here's the thing. Just for the sake of it rolling through and me not answering it all the time, I'm going to ask you 5 things about what would you rather. Some of them are going to be about places, some of them are about food, some are going to be disgusting, okay? Some of them are going to be funny, some are going to be disgusting. Some are going to be different, some are going to be easy, some are going to be disgusting, okay? But hey, we got to throw that one in there. Okay, so here we go. Let me go ahead. But the main thing is, wait till this video is over with. Completely stopped. I say goodbye, do the hey, Travel Man Dan thing, and then go to the comment section. Don't put it on live. Go to the comment section and leave me your 5 answers. I'll respond back to them when I get a chance. That way we can talk and we can laugh about it later. Because if you do it now, I'm not going to be able to respond to it. So please, I'm going to ask you the questions now. I'll tell you my answer, and then tell me yours after the thing. Get your pen and paper ready, because we're about to do what would you rather. All right, the first one is, what would you rather? Would you rather live downtown in any city or in the countryside? Are you a country folk or are you a city slicker? For me personally, I do love the cities. I've lived in cities of over 30 million people the last 25 years of my life. I'm over it, bro. You know what I mean? I'm over it, bro. I want countryside all the way. All right, question number 2. New York or Los Angeles? Just to visit. You're going to take a 2-week vacation, wherever you are. Would you rather go to New York or would you rather go to Los Angeles? New York has the city, the shows, the Broadway, the food, the epic New York City. And you have Los Angeles, you have the beach, you have the mountains, you have the Hollywood. Where would it be? I know for me, I'm from Buffalo, New York, so I know the vibe of the East Coast. I love it. I love the city. And I live in Los Angeles. I've lived here many years. I do love it here. I don't like the traffic, but if I had to choose, and if I was from somewhere else and I had to choose, I would choose my 2 weeks in New York City. Love it. Love the city, love the vibe, love the pizza, love the people. All right, number 3. All right, eating time. Are you going to have burritos or burgers? Okay, you only get one, right? Very kind of similar, like burritos you can go crazy with. You can make them any flavor you want with anything you want. You can put pork, you can put beef, you can put chicken, you can make fish. Burgers, you can put pork, you can put beef, you can put chicken, you can do fish. What's it going to be? You could do all kinds of vegetables. Burritos or burgers? I love burritos and I love burgers. But this one's a no-brainer. Bye-bye burrito. I will take a burger all the way. Buffalo, by the way. Yes, I know you're from Buffalo, maybe. You're just a kid from Kenmore. I'm gonna take burger. I just like I like the way the burger fits in your hand. I like the snap and crunch when you bite into it. I like all the different sauces that you can put on a burger. I'm a burger boy. All right, number 4. You should do that one for the mystery menu. I should. That's a good idea. Do like a crazy. What are you thinking, Wonder Strudel? A crazy burrito? You want to see a crazy burrito? I'll make one. Swear I will. All right, here we go. So number 4. Yeah, now.
Sorry, I didn't quite catch that. Could you please repeat it?
I must have said something that sparked Siri's interest. We're not interested, Siri. We're going live. All right. So guys, this one's hard, right? Okay. What would you rather do? Would you rather be in Spain and run with the bulls? You know, where you're running down those little hallways and the bulls are coming and they maybe horn you in the ass and knock you up in the air. Okay, pretty scary. Definitely wouldn't want to get trampled by people or especially a rampaging bull or bulls. Pretty epic, crazy, festive thing. I would like to try it one time. I'm just worried about my getting caught by a hook, and I don't want that to happen. You know what I'm saying. But, or would you choose to live in one of the most haunted places, like a scary hotel or prison or crazy most haunted place overnight for 24 hours? So your options are like an old penitentiary, kind of dark. Like I think there's one in Pennsylvania, there's one in New Jersey that's like haunted with people, and that's so they say. Whatever, you have to sleep in it for 24 hours, or would you rather run with the bulls? And for me, spooky ghosts are not real. Tenacious Freak, you're a brave man, my man. So I'm guessing you're going with that, but I can't wait to hear your answer. I'm gonna take the running with the bulls. I don't know why. I just the mind is a crazy friggin' thing, and so I rely more on my legs to run the hell out of there and get away from those bulls than I would of a night of paranoia. Okay, speaking of body parts, this next one is the disgusting one. I hope that no children are watching. I hope for some reason some 7-year-old down in Nebraska doesn't happen to slide over to the weekly beer and video review show with Danny Salay because she watched a little Reading Man Dan, because this one is a funny one. This one is more of a disgusting one. Which one would you rather have? Okay, would you rather have a dick for a nose? What would you rather have, a dick for a nose, or would you rather have 2 balls on your chin? Greg, man. So guys, what would you rather have? I've had this discussion with almost everyone that I'm close to. A dick for a nose would be really weird because you literally have like a penis hanging out, and like it's good size. It's about a 6-incher. I don't know. This is getting too weird. But the balls are hanging here, and as you get older, they start to. How do you think of that? I don't know, Aston. It just came up years ago. And so you gotta pick one. Wait till this show's over. Wait till I end it. We're almost done. I'm coming up on the end. Let me know. Like the acid. Yeah, kind of like the acid eating elf. So let me know what you would rather. I'd love to hear from you. For me, I'm taking the balls on the chin every day. I guess if I grew a beard back, I would grow it bigger. Maybe I could tuck them in there. But, we didn't really talk about the dick for a nose. It goes up and down. Oh, you know what I'm talking about. Let's try that beer again, and we're going to talk about this day in history. All right, this day in history. As you can see, I'm quite red. We've gone over the hour, but that's okay. I'm not one of those guys here in Los Angeles either that shows up fashionably late. I'm not one of those guys. I'm always on time, but I gave myself an extra 15 minutes in case it does go over. So this day in history, okay? The more the better. That's right. Where the hell did you come from? Well, you helped make me, Dad. So you can help answer that. So I want to hear what you got, Dad. All right, this day in history on July 12th, 1679. Britain's King Charles II ratifies Habeas Corpus Act, allowing prisoners the right to be examined by a court. And if you know anything about habeas corpus, okay, it's not habeas corpus, it's habeas corpus act, which then helped ratify habeas corpus and allowed a prisoner to be gone through trial and to go ahead and give his version of the story, if you will, in simpler terms. Kind of interesting, definitely still holds true now. It's why we have the judicial system system that we do have. White Ale strong, double IPA strong. But on this day, July 12th, 1679, King Charles II ratified that act and made it happen. On this day in history, July 12th, 1843, Mormon leader Joseph Smith says God allowed polygamy. So hey, if God talked to Joseph Smith and said, hey, look, hey, Joe, you can have as many wives as you want, you know? That's the way it's supposed to be. I guess it's okay, right? That happened in 1843. Very, very strange. I don't know too much about it. If you don't know who Joseph Smith is, you can Google him. He is the creator of the Church of Latter-day Saints. And well, he says that God told him polygamy was okay. If you don't know what polygamy is, it is the right to have as many wives as you want. I can't even get a friggin' girlfriend. What am I worried about? Anyway, on this day in history, July 12th, 1901, Cy Young of the Boston Red Sox pitches and wins his 300th win, okay, against the Philadelphia Athletics. If you don't know who Cy Young is, he was a very famous pitcher in the late 1800s. You know I always throw a baseball one in here for this day in history because I love it. It's the greatest game in the world to me. And Cy Young, this day in history, won his 300th win, and that is, well, it's a pretty good and accurate way of judging how a pitcher is going to get in the Hall of Fame. Is like, did he win 300? Now it's really hard to win 300 games because of injuries and they pull people out a lot quicker. Back then it might have been a little bit easier because they usually pitched a lot more. Although the games were shorter and they didn't have as many, they left the pitcher in longer. So yeah, and then if you don't know, Cy Young is also who the best pitcher in baseball awarded is named after. Is that right? Yeah, I think that said that right. But anyway, Cy Young, on this day in history in 1901, pitched his 300th victory. On this day in history, July 12th, 1940. Get ready for this one because this one's huge. Frederick McKinley Jones receives a patent for an air conditioning unit for trucks, helping change long-haul cargo. Now, I know you're thinking, what the hell is that? I mean, is that really, wow, big deal? No, this is a friggin' huge deal. Frederick McKinley Jones had like 64 other patents. The guy was a genius. African American, 1940, develops an air conditioning unit that he can put onto trucks that allows trucks to drive produce around the country. So, you know, let's say you're in Colorado or Buffalo and it's December and it's snowing like crazy and everything's freezing over. You're not going to be able to get oranges or strawberries or produce and stuff like that that comes from warm weather states. Vegetables, everything else was canned and pickled, right? Okay, this dude comes up with this patent to create this invention to go on the back of trucks to allow truckers to be able to carry this stuff. Genius. Thank you, John. Thank you so much. It's one of those things that, like, when we look at like time and history and stuff, we don't even think about it, but yet it's so important to our daily life. It's just unbelievable. So yeah, Frederick McKinley Jones, thank you for creating that. That's freaking awesome. That's so I can get my oranges all year round wherever I live but a lot of other cool stuff. Hey, on this day in history, on July 12th, 1954, the 34th President of the United States, Dwight Eisenhower, started his plan to create an interstate highway. Holy crap, that's weird because, okay, so in 1940, this guy creates this air conditioning unit to keep to keep foods fresh from Florida or whatever to travel. Now, Dwight Eisenhower says, 14 years later, let's create a highway system where we can go from Chicago to Texas. We can go from New York to California. We can get around there all just by driving on these roads. That's what happened on this day in history. And boy, if you've ever been to America and you've seen our highway system, our train systems suck. We're terrible at it. But our highway systems are awesome. And in 1954, Dwight Eisenhower created that, okay, or at least got the ball started. All right, and the last one. On this day in history, not too long ago, in 2013. Okay, I got to look down because I don't know her name. I forgot her name. It's hard to pronounce. Malala Yousafzai addresses the United Nations and calls for worldwide access to education. Thank you, Jens. Now, if you don't know who Malala Yousafzai was, she was a Pakistani girl that was going to a private school who was taken over by the Taliban and basically shut down all schools. Cool, I've got a map. My dad gave me an interstate, doesn't have any. Dude, that's awesome, Baba. I'd love to see that. Take a picture and shoot me a message. I'd love to see that. But anyway, Malala, on this day in 2013, after everything that happened, if you don't know the story, basically they shut down all the girls' schools and education for girls in Pakistan. The Taliban did. They come in, they forcefully shut it down. Well, this young girl fights against it and is an activist saying that we should be able to get education. Well, they hijack her bus on the way to school one day, and the Taliban shoots her in the head. The bullet strikes her in the temple, like here, comes out down, up across here in her jaw, falls and hits her shoulder, and she survives. And on this day, she was healthy after a year almost of rehab and brain surgeries and all kinds of traumatic injuries, was able to address the United Nations of how important education, not only for women, but for everybody in the world, what that means to have access to education. It's a very, very powerful speech by a very young girl, and if you get a chance, just Google it. But on this day in history in 2013, that's what happened. Here we go. Let's go ahead. Let's continue drinking. We are rolling over. I love you guys. Thank you so much. This is where I get so happy to say we have what? How many people? 15 people staying with me the whole time. She lives here now in the UK. Aston, that's awesome. Isn't she an amazing story? I mean, you can't help but think for these people. And if you're in the first world, that they some people around the world, they just don't have it like we do, and we're blessed to be this way. So, to Malala, I'm sure you probably don't drink, but thank you so much for standing up, and the rights of education does belong to everyone. And sorry what happened to you. I loved your speech, and on this day in history, that's what happened. Let's go back to this white IPA. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Just so delicious. Really delicious. Guys, I'm going to go ahead and speed this up real quick. What are we reading? What are we watching? That's where we're at. What are we reading? What are we watching? You guys know what I'm reading. It is a brain buster. I'm making my way through. Everything is good. We are reading Miguel de Cervantes, Don Quixote. This is summer reading. That's right, it is 900 pages. It is getting good. I've started it now for a week. It is my 2-month goal to finish this sucker, along with another book that I'm reading about the Japanese shoguns. But this sucker ain't easy, and it's not big print. Okay, those are little prints right there. So, but if you don't know anything about this book or about Cervantes, he was the Spanish Shakespeare of his time, and it's just really, really well written. I can't say much more about it because I'm just getting into it. Yeah, I know, Greg, seriously. This sucker is no joke. It is 914 pages, small print. So so that is a beast. That is definitely a beast. Now I am reading other things. Like I said, I don't spend my whole time reading this. I love reading plays, adventure books, anything. Get my hands on screenplays. But this will be the meat of this summer, and I'm forcefully pushing myself to come out of quarantine physically, mentally, and spiritually better. This is the mental part. You have to force yourself to read it. I love to read, and even this big ass book is hard to read, but that's what I'm reading. If you want, go ahead and put in the comments just next year, what would you rather? I would just watch Unsolved Mysteries on Aquanuts. What'd you think of that sucker? Crazy, right? Oh man, I love the new style. The only thing I didn't like is there were only 5 episodes. Broke my heart, some of them. You know, that these people, I'm about to start watching Netflix called Bad Blood, The Umbrella Academy. I heard it was great. Tenacious Freak, I heard about the Umbrella Academy. What am I watching? I am actually watching on Netflix. It's called Our Planet. Yes, so interesting. Cool. Glad you liked it. I know we talked about that last week, and I'm glad you liked it. I'm watching Our Planet, and it kind of takes you through the life of different ecosystems, whether it be desert, jungle, ocean, Saharas, you know, different areas, different places, and the animals that live there. Really interesting. What I found is the only time I really get to watch things is as I'm falling asleep. Maybe an hour before I go to bed, I put it on, I slowly fall asleep. Well, sometimes when I'm watching all this kind of crime porn, it wakes me up in the middle of the night, like somebody's out to get the travel man Dan. You know what I mean? So I switched over to animals, something a little more peaceful, something a little more relaxing. Yeah, it's working out a little bit better. I do like those crime stories. Unfortunately, as sad as it is, they're made because it really happened. So that is the sad part, but they are interesting to watch, and I'll probably go back to it. But right now I'm watching Our Planet. Thanks for going ahead and sharing with me what you're watching. Let's go ahead and sip down the last sip of the Sharknader. Okay, the Sharknader from the Lost Coast Brewing Company. Let's go ahead and just plug this sucker down, and then I'm going to leave you guys with the quote of the day. Man, I don't know how I feel about this. This is one of the strangest beers I've ever had because it's like a Hefeweizen. It's like an IPA. When you first taste it, it really doesn't taste like there's any flavor to it at all. But then the second half of it adds that complexity of, well, a nice fragrant, kind of rich, hoppy, citrusy flavor. Really crisp, really refreshing, and not bad, to be honest with you. When I first took a sip of it, it tasted like mule swill. But now, as I drank the whole thing, I'm actually really enjoying it. I could definitely feel the strength of it. And well, although it's 106 degrees out, it really kind of quenched my thirst and made me feel, well, relaxed, refreshed. And it's a nice summer. I consider it kind of like a summer ale. Not so much a white ale, but really not bad. Love, absolutely love the artwork on the Sharknader label right here. Will I try more from the Lost Coast? I think I will. Like I said, the first sip, I really was clueless. To be honest, I thought it was gross. But I definitely came around, and that's why I'm going to give it a modest but good score. I consider a good score anything over 6.5. I'm going to give it a 7.5. Did I absolutely love it? No. Will I absolutely drink it again? I'm definitely curious to try it. If you get a chance to try out this Sharknader, please do. Not bad. I'm giving it a 7.5 because it just, that first sip kind of took it off a little bit. And that is why. That is the only reason why I also would have gave it, well, your pretty most consistent number here on the Weekly Beer and Video Review Show was an 8. But I didn't give it an 8 because of that first sip. But hey, still a good score, 7.5. Gonna try it again. Now I'm gonna go ahead and give you the quote of the day. Since we were talking about inventors and Frederick McKinley Jones, this next quote, the quote I want you to think about, the quote I want to tell you about, the quote that I want to go ahead and interpret to you, just my interpretation, is from a famous inventor himself by the name of Thomas Edison. You know him. He created the light bulb, right? Or electricity, I guess you would call it. But Thomas Edison was a brilliant man, and he was one of those brilliant minds in a time where the country, the world, they needed to evolve. And he had the guts, and he had the drive and the ambition to keep going. And, well, not only did he create the light bulb and electricity for the home, but he also created numerous other inventions. And he was one of the pioneers, one of the great inventors of not just America, but of the world, okay? And this is what he said. He said, many of life's failures are people who did not realize how close they were to success when they gave up, okay? And that really friggin' resonates with me, man. It's like, when you think about that quote, when you think about Thomas Edison, you think about what he accomplished. If that man would have quit early on in his life and said, this will never happen, no, this will never happen, because people doubted him. People told him this is not going to work. The Naked Director from Netflix, is pretty crazy. I'll check it out. That is deep. It's so deep, because you think about it and it's like, now, when I come into you and I'm talking to you from a perspective as an artist, as an actor, as, well, I guess a guy on YouTube who's creating a channel, creating a show. And, you know, many of the failures of people, no matter what that is, and I don't care what it is, whether you're a restaurant, whether you're a scientist, whether you're an inventor, whether you're an entrepreneur, whatever it is, you became so close to it. You had no idea, and you quit. And therefore went down as a failure, but you were so close. It could have been that next day. You could have had the next day as an entrepreneur, as a restaurant owner. Hey, yeah, Bill? Yeah. You know, listen, hey, we really like what you got. We're going to go ahead and give you the money to be in business. And boom, like that, things could change. Your recipe could be created. Your invention could be made. You could get that call that could put you in that movie, that could put you in that TV show, that could blow up your career. You could get that call that could go ahead and make you, as a mechanical engineer, your invention to go ahead, or as a scientist, as a doctor, for that laboratory work that you've been working on for so many years and months and time. It could just go ahead. And, well, it could be a failure, but because you didn't give up, it's a huge worldwide success. And it's so important to understand that, because nowadays we want instant gratification. We want to be gratified all the time, super fast, really quick. We've talked about this before on the show. You could tell me anything. I could find it here, right on this phone, in about 3 minutes. Okay, I could probably find it. Just Google the shit, all right? But something that you're creating, something that you're starting from the grassroots, something like an invention, something like your path as an artist, something like a super antidote medicine, or a great recipe, or building a community of people. It takes time. It just takes time. And many people fail because they don't realize how close they really were. You don't know the powers beyond yourself that are working outside of your realm. All you know is, oh man, it's not working, it's not working. I only have 13 people watching. You don't know what the fuck is going on out there. It could be something that is completely out of your control. And Thomas Edison knew, and he kept going. So I'm going to leave you with this. Whatever it is you're doing, whatever life is treating you and whatever it's giving you, be diligent. Be ambitious. You know, 13 more than 8, 13. I know. You know, whatever it is that you want to create, understand that it may take time. It takes a long time to develop. And here's the great thing about developing, is while you're developing and going through this, you're getting better. You're inventing this restaurant. You're creating this recipes. You're creating this antidote. You're making the invention better. Okay? You just might not be ready. Have that realization. But if you continue to work at it, and you continue to look at it as a long thing, and don't quit and don't become a failure, success is just a matter of time. Okay, it's just a matter of time. And Thomas Edison said it with that quote. And I want you to think about that. And think about sometimes like when you're in this daunting thing, like think about marathon. Everyone wants to talk Nipsey Hussle and the marathon and this and that. Marathon's 26.2 miles. I know, I ran 4 of them. Takes a long time. Took me almost 3 hours and some change, right? Okay, it takes a while. And so when you kind of look at your life and whatever you're going after when you're doing, understand it like this. And this is only my opinion. This is only my motivation that I might bring to you at the end of the show. Understand that whatever you're doing, how many years have you been doing it? Okay? What I've been doing this YouTube channel not even 2 years. So a marathon's 26. If I'm at 2 years, I'm just at the very beginning, right? So understand and put it into perspective. Whatever that's you're doing. Yeah, 13 is one more than Jesus started with. 13, one more than Jesus. I don't know what that means. Great people say sources and learn from failure. Another great quote. Great people, I love that. I'm gonna build off of Tenacious Freaks. Great people say great things were built off of failure, and that's it, man. You know, and that's that whole thing about many failures are from people who realize how close they really weren't. Thomas Edison, thank you for leaving us with that quote. Guys, thank you so much for joining me. We're here, man. We did it. We did it for a while. We had some delicious beers. Let's go back to them again. We had the Mad River Brewing Slammin' Salmon is a delicious, tasty double IPA. And we had the Lost City, check out their label, kind of graphed out, kind of city look, Sharknader White IPA. This is what we did today. We had a lot of fun. Be sure once this video is done to go ahead and drop me in the comments after the show your what would you rather answers. I got to jam out for a little bit. I got a little meeting that I'm going to go ahead and do. And then I'll be back to answer those comments. 12 apostles. Oh, okay. Well, I don't know where this is all coming from, but I may have missed something. It doesn't matter. Tenacious Freak, thank you. Thank you so much, guys. Look, I couldn't do this without you, so I really appreciate it. The fact that you guys are showing up each week, I'm able to converse with you. Hopefully you're having a drink. It makes my week so exciting. I get so pumped up. Have a great week, Aquanuts. And the rest of you guys, thank you so much. The show keeps getting better and better. Aston, you know, that made my day, man. Right at the end of the show, 1%. 1% better. Enjoyed your show. Love you, and Sue. And Sue, I love you too. I hope to hear, probably call you or whatever. Make sure to be here next Sunday. Thank you so much, Strudel Barrow. Always a pleasure. You're the man, bro. Day one. Chris, love it. We're going to do this thing, man. It's going to, you know, guys, please be here next week. I'm taking notes. I'm writing your names down. I swear to you, I'm have it going. I promise you, I'm going to be doing a giveaway. I don't know when and I don't know how, but I'm going to be giving to the people that are here for day one from your dad, one more from Jesus. Thank you so much for joining me, for hanging with me. You got to get some sleep. Yeah, I got to go get some, oh, you got to get some sleep. I got to get the AC going. Thank you so much, guys. I'm Travel Man Dan, and remember, it's a big world out there. Make sure you see every bit of it.